Alright, Brush Monkeys, we're back, and this week we're painting Korin, the female barbarian, from Reaper Miniatures. And we're continuing the Army Painter Flesh Tones paint set. So, last week we started with Tiger's Eye skin, this week we're starting with Jasper skin. That was our mid-tone last week. This is going to be our base coat this week. We got soft skin wash. This week I did something a little different because the paint set has this ruby skin, which is a really vibrant bright pink, and it doesn't really fit in the tapering color of the rest of the series. So this is, it's like, this was the next one in the series, then this, and then topaz skin. And you can see how it goes from dark to really freaking bright to a little bit darker. So like this one should be in front of it, but then the next one after this is Dorado skin, which is a little dark too. So Ruby doesn't really, this is the only one that doesn't really fit in with a lot of them. So what I ended up doing instead was, because the Army Painter thing comes with the toners, let me dig one of these out for you. It's got this garment pigment toner, and it's got onyx and pearl toners as well, if you want to lighten something up or darken it down, and just puts a little more red in it. I took the ruby skin and mixed it with some of the garnet toner and came up with this, and this seems to be a little more in line with what's going on here. It still looks a little bright at the bottom there. I need to shake them up, but it's darker than it was. So this is going to be my mid-tone now, and then this one will be this one I'll mix with it to make the highlights. That's the one thing I feel like Army Painter kind of dropped the ball on, is making that one bright color right in the middle of that. And it doesn't really look right. But that's what we're going to use. And then we're going to use brown rose for the lips. Actually, I'm probably going to use a slightly different color, because the brown rose kind of looks like the topaz. I'm going to go with this red leather color for the lips and probably her nipples, because it looks like she's topless. So I'll get rid of that. And then muddy brown for the hair with a Savannah dry brush. Graveyard gray with a Necron dry brush for the swords and what little armor she's wearing. A little bit of gold for the grips of the swords with a Reichland flesh shade. The usual Absolution green, Niblet green, dark green dry brush, or dark green base band for the base. So yeah, should be good. Like I said, the focus on these is on the skin, so that's what we're going to pay the most attention to, and then we'll come back and see how she looks, alright? See you soon. Bye. Alright, Brush Monkeys, we've made quite a bit of progress on our girl here. As you can see, I've got the skin pretty well done. Let me tilt the light up so you can see it. The skin, I did something a little different I deviated from my original plan a little bit. I did the Jasper skin base, and I made that nice red solid base, and then gave it a shade wash of the soft. No, I didn't use a soft skin. I used just regular flesh wash from Army Painter. This is not one of the ones that came with the thing. I actually meant to grab the soft skin. I forgot I'd gotten that. And then for the highlights, the Jasper skin just. I mean, not the Jasper skin, the Tiger's Eye skin. Let me grab the one I'm talking about here. Topaz, holy hell. The Topaz skin was just a little bit too light for me. I thought it just came out too white. So I took the homebrew mix that I was talking about, the ruby skin and the garnet skin toner. And there's a little bit of shade wash mixed in there, a little bit too, to thin down. I mixed this with the Jasper skin, and then did a layer of that, and then did the highlights with this mixed with the Jasper, with the previous mix, like Jasper skin and this stuff 1-on-1, and then 2-to-1 this stuff and Jasper skin to get the highlights. Now, as a result, the red leather color was a little too dark to show up for lips and nips there. So I went ahead and used the brown. I put the brown rose on them, and that didn't show up. So I went ahead and just used the straight mix of the ruby and garnet skin to get her lips and nipples on there. And she's looking pretty good. Also base coated the swords and her chainmail, the golds, and did the leather on her boots there with snakebite leather. And base coated her hair too. So I'm going to go ahead and dry brush her hair next. Then we'll come back and take a look at it. Then I'll do the golds and the steels, etc., etc. You know, typical video. But this, you can see here how it looks on the skin, and it looks really fantastic. Really like how that comes out. I love how the Army Painter skin tones are almost, they're thin enough that they're practically a glaze. They're not quite that thin. You can still thin them down a little more, but they do go on nice and thin, and they look really good. I just want to smooth out this area of her thigh up here, so you can see even just doing that a little bit just blends out really nicely there. Just highlighting the thigh there. So you get a nice smooth finish on that thigh. Nice smooth blend. And that's really great for skin tones, because it shows the, you know, if you look at your own skin tones, it's not just a flat color. You can see there's a little bit of translucence. You can see some colors underneath. You can see the veins and whatnot underneath there. Different shades depending on where you're looking at on your skin. And you get that with these skin tones, and it looks really fantastic. So, yeah, like I said, I'm going to pause. I'm going to go finish up her hair, and then we'll come back and take another look at her, and then we'll go from there. All right, see you soon. All right, we're back, and I did a little more than I actually meant to. I did the, I dry brushed her hair, and you can see that looks really good with the Sylvaneth bark over the muddy soil. Also went ahead and dry brushed her chainmail. This is the chainmail loincloth, front and back, and then dry brush the blades of her swords. So that's all done. Up next, I also did, I painted the, she had a little armband on her arm. It looked like it was like a leather thong kind of thing. So I went ahead and painted that as well with the snakebite leather. Just kind of help that stand out a little bit. So up next is the golds. I'm going to do Vallejo Old Gold over all that. I'm going to do Reichland Flesh Shade over the grip of the swords, and possibly do a little highlight of some greedy gold or bright gold over the jewelry portions of it, but I haven't quite decided yet. So I'm going to go ahead and go do that, and then we'll come back and see how she looks. See you soon. Alright, boys and girls, I got the golds done, and I did the Reichland Flesh Shade over the grips of the swords, and I think I did it before the gold was entirely dry, so it kind of blended with it a little bit, but I kind of dig it. It looks like a sort of a light brown, kind of tannish color that I think looks really good on those sword grips. The rest of it looks fantastic, so for all intents and purposes, she's pretty well done. The base, like I said, is going to be the usual Absolution green or Dark Angels green on that texture paste. And then we'll dry brush that with Niblet green and paint the base band with dark green. You've seen me do that 100 times. It's kind of my standard go-to base for a lot of these kind of characters. I may put a couple of little green tufts on the base just to make it look a little more jungly, or like a plains kind of thing, because she looks a little bit like almost like an Indian, like a Native American, with that skin tone. But we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and go do the Absolution green, and then we'll come back, and next time you see her, she'll be completely done when I get her all finished. So see you soon. Bye. Alright, breast monkeys, there she is, our finished Korin female barbarian. I think she looks really good. This is, again, this miniature is produced by Reaper Miniatures. And I think she looks really good with that Jasper Skin Triad. So next week we will continue on with the next 3 paints in the set. See you soon. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hey Brush Monkeys, Tom here. If you like what you see, click like down below, and if you want to be notified when new videos get posted, click subscribe. And in the meantime, if you want to support us in any way, check me out on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. We're on all those platforms. If you see a miniature on the site that you want to make one of your own, hit me up on Instagram. I can quote you a price for that. And if you want any Flying Monkey Studios merchandise, like t-shirts, things like that, hit me up on storefrontier.com/flyingmonkeystudios and get all your merch there. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.